Hey guys and gals, this is going to be the final installment of the Galaxy Explorer by LEGO Space Systems. Set number 10497 contains about 1,256 bricks. So last time we did is we built basically on this top portion and part on the cabin or fuselage. So let's get started with bag 7. And we had one plate extra, and we were missing one 1x4 brick with 4 studs. So I think they may be in here. We don't know. Let me get my light out of the way. And well, I've just started actually planning out the campground that I've been wanting to work on. So hoping to get it done by the end of September. And I hear Discord going off, which we will turn that down. Usually I don't get dingies on things, but today we do. Okay. Alrighty, so we got to put together a minifigure. And I'm still, just for me, just doing this for fun. This is just like a relaxing bedside build, and that's what this is. I'm helping a lot of people out with the builds on these. That's pretty cool. So, I've been looking for sheets of Formica to redo this table, and I'm trying to find a use for a full 4x8 sheet. I got to find a way to get it here to the house. I have a pickup, but it's a small pickup, and it's not like a full-size jobby. And I put the head on, and now I can't get the head off. So I can't get that off there. Where's the brick separator? I don't know how you're going to get that off. I stuck it on there, and I thought, oh, I forgot to put the thing on there. Do I have to get a pair of vice grips to pull that off? There we go. I mean, it was fused on there. Now, all these bricks, and what am I doing? Putting together the figures, but that's what we usually have to do. Anyways, you got to put together, you know what? Let's just skip the figure. And we're just going to jump in here. When we start finding the figure, we'll start setting the parts over here. And in addition, we also get these. Pretty cool. Okay, let's get going. But before I do, okay, I'm assuming this is not mirrored. Looks like we're putting the instrument dash together. In fact, let me move this book over here, because I'm already limited on space as it is. I mean, literally I got stuff falling on me in here. It's getting pretty brutal. Probably going to need some printed stuff. And yes, everything in here is printed. If you watch the first 2 episodes, we haven't seen anything really printed. I think all the printed stuff they were saving for last. And I've heard a few in my Discord group saying that this set is a bit on the pricey side. It depends on how you look at it. Of course, if you are one of my younger viewers, and I'm talking about teenage viewers, if COP is watching, yeah, $100 seems like a lot. For me, if I was heavy into this theme, I would purchase this in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, just by not only the nostalgia, but the detail so far in here, and it's not stickered, it's not, LEGO didn't cheap out on this one, I would say yes. And I'm having a hard time finding the last angular plate for that. Well, I'm finding parts for the minifigure. We'll keep that up there. Maybe we'll get more. I need to find the tank. So there we are. So I'm not really a fan of minifigures except for sig figs, but I just need to find another one of these. Oh, there it is. And there's so many printed pieces in here. But I have to really give LEGO credit for this one here. I mean, whoops, we got to put in some 1x2 plates. We don't want to make too many mistakes today. I'd like to finish this whole thing up in this last installment, and I'd like to review it quickly. When am I going to release it? I don't know. Here, let's see what we got right here. The pilot of the original set used a single steering wheel to control the craft. The updated version has upgraded controls, 2 steering wheels. Well, they have upgraded the wheels to 2, but they still use these dinky little wheels. I'm sorry, Lego. I mean, I know we're trying to keep it retro, but yeah. Now this shows this thing here at a tilt. Like it's tilted. Oh, wait a minute. Does it go here? Let me look here. I'm kind of confused. Okay, I completely skipped step 159. So you got to be careful when you're doing this. Sometimes the pages will stick together, or I just wasn't paying attention, one of the two. So yeah. And put this in. It's like, where does that go? No, it goes. Now you build this and you stick it in here. What does that look like in there? Okay. Feels like it's not even sitting down in there. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it just doesn't look like it fits in there. But it does. Oh, maybe I just didn't push it down all the way. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Gotta wiggle it in. If you can't get it to fit, we'll wiggle it in there. Here's another one here. Alright. The original Galaxy Explorer bore the designator LL928 printed on the 1x4 brick. On the modern version of the ship, LL920 is printed on a 50% larger brick, the 1x6. I mean, does it really matter? You know, I mean, but it's printed. We don't care. I like them printed. Blue's rare, but of course, if I ever want to use this for a mock, I just flip it backwards and do that. So, okay. Here. Looks like we have 1x1s. That's where they go. Yeah, you have to watch really carefully. And when I do the reviews on these things, I don't grade like on that stuff. Like, oh, I had to really be careful. Because that's the whole building experience. And you want the ridges, the horizontals to be on the outside. And then the ridges that go up and down go on the inside. So then we put these in there. And I'm not too sure about pressing on this pretty hard, but it seems pretty solid. Pretty solid. Yeah, I was looking at people who watch the live builds. A lot of people watch the builds of those city sets more than anything. See how the lines are right there? Go like this, so that's how it's supposed to look. Because the book, it looks like they're just black on that side. Right there. They look black. So, alright. If you already noticed, I don't read too well out loud. I know how to read. Some, oh, you stutter, you don't know how to read. No, I just know. It's just how it is. And we got the space logo here. That's printed. Just this alone, that tile alone, I'd like to get a few of those if they made them in different colors. I just wish they'd bring out a Friends version of this. Oh, I can imagine some of the OG builders would really cringe on the Friends theme of this. Make it, imagine this all being light pink and this is magenta or something. And then the interior's got a nice, cool, like medium lavender or something. I don't know, but it would be It would be hilarious to see a Friends version if somebody can piece one together. Okay, I thought this is a 1x6. No, we just pieced together two 1x3s. But if you really want to experience this build, this is just meant for you to decide if this is a build for you, but in all fairness, you need to have a copy of this if you want to experience it. I can't tell you that it's the most best experienced build in the world. Okay. Now, apparently these look like they're mirrors, but they're not. They're tiles. So we can't mirror those. Alright. So now we're working in the cockpit area. I think that's the name of it, cockpit. Okay, so right here. Alright, so let's get on this. And I have to, just like I said, I mean, yeah, I mean, they gave this to me and stuff, but I have to honestly say, though, that would I buy this set? You know, it's, you know, yes. I think I would now. If you know, I've had friends that tell me about it, and they say it's really good. The build quality is really sound. It's interesting, and the goal is you want to find builds, whoops, that are detailed. And this is, like I said, it's $100, but not too terribly bad. I think that goes up there like that. With the two studs like that, it doesn't look too appealing. Maybe those are control knobs. And an aerial. So, you know, am I biased because they gave me this set? You know, reviews just don't do justice. It's like you'll see a review. I'm going to have to pop this bed out of here to put this control in here. I think that's probably meant to go in first, but these things are even hard to put in on my vehicle, so I try to put them in quickly. There we go. You know, those are always a bit challenging, and it's so humid here right now. We're like in the 90s. We have a tropical storm coming. A tropical storm where I'm at, yeah. Tropical storm coming in, and my goodness, it's like 80% humidity right now. I mean, I'm literally just sweating. Even my AC has a dehumidifier, and it's good for about 30-40%, but it's when it gets to be like 80 or 90, at that point it's like, is it really worth it? Of course, I just heard the AC flip on. Alright, I like these little radar tiles. I gotta get a couple more of these. These make great for airport, like air traffic control towers and stuff. Really good. I mean, these are pretty good. If you want to make your own space theme, you know, just go hardcore in it. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's done that. Who goes hardcore into space. I can think of a few right now. I'm not going to mention their names on here, because I don't think they watch or sub to this channel. But they are heavy into this type of stuff. Keep thinking it's going here, but no. A lot of the stuff is very, feels like it's going to break off. There we are. Oh, and there's another one of those antennas right here, too. So we're going to have to take this bed out to get to it. Well, I'll have to. I mean, you get big fingers, it's hard to place that in there. It's kind of a challenge. Yeah, I think I mentioned this in a few installments ago, that, you know, how do they base this stuff off of age? I don't know, but if you're even an adult that, you know, wants to rush through this, it's going to be a difficult build. So you just want to take your time. Anybody can put this together regardless of age, but it's just how it is. Okay, then we got to stick the glass in here. Airplane windows, but these are yellow. So the space stuff's always got to have the yellow, and the aviation stuff like airplanes and jets and stuff have the blue. And then these, I believe, go here. So far, this is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm really surprised they don't make these circular. Like a, why don't, you know, Lego makes one of these with an arch for like castle windows. I wish they'd make these with round windows for spaceships and portholes for ships. That'd be really cool for a brick. And there's two slopes that go on top of here. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what we got now. So we're doing all the interiors. My goodness, this is just bonkers in a good way. I mean, you're just doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, this is a set that you could build. Just like I said, if it's a cold day, it's cloudy and raining, snowing outside, you could really put this together. I know nothing really happened to me this, well, the last day that we've talked. I'm just going to release these. Oh, okay, I need an inverted. I was looking for a regular one. I release these every day. So if you see part 1, part 2 won't be until the next day, and then this is actually going to be the last one you see. You know, boy, that's really seamed, and they got that wrapped right around those screens too. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is really finished off. Some sets, I mean, it's like building a friend set, and it's so drafty. It's got holes in it and stuff, and you're like, why? And then you're building something like this, probably the same price value. Hold up. I just hate when this stuff falls on the ground. It's a pain to pick it up. But some of these sets are the same price value, and it's just different build experiences. And I know they're targeted for different age ranges and stuff, but you know, who doesn't like to have really detailed builds? It's like, I remember on Lego Ideas I would post some of my builds on there, and you know, I mean, I'm always open to critiques and stuff. Oh, this is nice, but this is too large for an average Lego builder. No one's going to sit here and build a full-size camper or a McDonald's or something. And it kind of like, it's like, oh, I guess reality sets in that nobody wants to build that type of stuff. You know, if I get requests from a lot of people to build these things, you know, it's like a lot of them want to purchase this stuff. But at the end of the day, though, my builds are so large, they're not really practical. They're not practical for that kind of stuff. You know, that kind of thing. I sure like these retro-looking old-school monitors that have been updated. Okay, this goes here. Where does that go exactly? Oh, I see. It goes on the other side of this here. Boy, they're going to have to crawl in there. In fact, this almost looks like a boat in a way in the inside. You could use these same instrument panels for a boat if you wanted to. Oh, I forgot to put this. Wait, there's one of those. Okay, so this one here. Wait a minute. There's a plate that runs here. I must have skipped it or something. Oh no, it's there's an insert I'll show you here. I was looking at that thinking, like, right here, I was like, where does this go? And I saw the arrow, I was like, oh, how silly of me, there it is. I was looking for it, like, where does this go? Okay. Okay, let's get these sorted here. And yellow, put that over there. Kind of working slow. Yeah, it's been a rough week and all that stuff, so yeah. And this one here, we're working on the back side now. Let's put it the way that the book shows it so we can see it easily here. Okay, you can see it too. Good. And this goes here. So something must open up here or something. And we got to make another one of those in reverse. I just sorted all that and I got to move it again. Yeah. So yeah, this is something that I would buy more and more, just by building it and dropping the parts on the floor. I really do need to put a rail or a guard rail to keep things from falling down on this thing. Okay. Okay, is this a mirrored item or is this not? No. Must be the airlock system here. Okay. Yeah, so if you really are thinking about this set, you're not going to regret it. You're just saying that, Jay, because it was given to you. Well, no, I have to still build it and review. Like I said, I want to work on my campground. I got a couple of tutorial ideas I want to share, you know. That's the stuff that I want to work on right now. And there's always a trade-off when doing these type of things. But honestly, for me though, you know, if somebody had said watch the review of this set, most people just give positive reviews on this. On my reviews, you don't just get a review, you get the unboxing. What does the parts look like in the set? Then I build the set itself. What's the build experience like? Did it keep my interest? You know, some people skip that. Oh, that's not important. Or they'll do a speed build. That doesn't do anybody any good. If you're speed building this stuff, I'm not going to watch it. Two, I just don't like piano music. Being blunt there, you know. I know some people don't like me talking. You could speed these up and play your own kind of soundtrack, you know. You can do that if you wish. Stack 2 plates. I'm missing the track piece, so there it is. Okay. But the whole goal about these in the long run is to help you, the builder, decide if you'd like to build this, if you're heavy into space. So honestly, if you really want to, this is an investment set here. This is something you can invest in. Obviously you can tell it's playable. I mean, this amount of detail in here is not meant to sit on a shelf. So if you're thinking about buying this for a heavy space enthusiast, you know, or if you're buying this for a child. Now, if you're buying this for a child, you're obviously going to have to help them build this. And that's pretty cool there. Just that little door. That's really cool. It's simple, but it's cool. Alright. It's like, where's that rattling noise come from? And yes, when you get to this step here, it tells you to put these things upside down. Trying to find more of those breeze blocks. In fact, my knuckle is a little bit skinned. I was trying to put in an electrical box on a retaining wall today for my parents. There's a place to plug in stuff outside on their brick wall, and I like yard tools and stuff. I'm like, okay, sure, I can do that. And I got it done. It was just, yeah, it was warm where they were at, and I thought, but I got it done. It was all that mattered. Everything worked. GFCI protection with ground fault circuit interrupter. So. Also, if they want to plug in lights or stuff like that, they can do so, because it's controlled by a switch from inside the house. In fact, I've been toying around the idea of just doing some home repair videos and such. Okay, there's a slope that goes on the bottom here. I was looking at this thing, well, how does this go in? But it goes in like this. It's like we're missing something here. Let's see right here. There's a slope that goes on the bottom there. I was kind of looking at that thinking, what is that? I thought it was like one of these. No. Oh, that's a sliding door. Okay. Oh, okay, so what you do is you slide it in this track piece. Oh, that's pretty clever. Look at this. They used the tip of the slope here, which I never would have thought of, to actually grab inside of one of these. That's pretty cool. You could do a lot with these then. That's a good idea. I may snag that idea for something else. And it does stay in, so you could probably just make a regular door and it slides without using that custom track. Never would have thought of that. But see, what they did is they offset that there. That's why they did this. So that's really cool. That's really good. And then we can shove this in here. Keep this door from sliding out. So there it goes. And the door goes in the rear. I think it sits right in this area. Actually, it's right at an angle, but it sits right on here. So I think it just, they have it tilted like this. So that's tilted like that. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. This is going to be fun to just mess around with, huh? I'm sorry, friends, and I forgot to put the tiles on top of that, my bad. I'm sorry, friends, I have to say that this is fun. Sorry, Olivia. Maybe we should throw Olivia in there and have her fly it, huh? Okay, we got to build 2 mirrors of some stuff here. And one of these at the bottom. And the other mirror is the same. There's two sub-steps on here. If you want to know where I'm getting the mirror from. And then these. Okay, so this part goes on, the stud goes on the inside here. At least this ship is not, it's not drafty so far. I mean, well, of course there's a draft up here. So if this were out in space, the spacemen would just fly out of the cockpit, and their fates, they would just be doomed at that point. Okay, got to make 2 of these. These go here. Well, that doesn't look like it fits. Did I do something wrong? It says make 2 of these, but there's a hole here. Did I forget something? There's a hole right there. I don't think it fits on top. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I made a mistake here. And where I made the mistake at is that there's actually plates down here. let me back up here a little bit. No. I mean, something's off here. Let me back up because I don't see... Oh, okay, there's 2x3s in here. Alright. So I skipped that a while back. Let's just get those in there real quick. The thing about working very slow is if you boo-boo, you can fix it. Uh-oh, I think there's a little hole there. Uh-oh, I can't get that out. There we go. Is that a hole back there, or is that seamed? Oh no, they're doomed. They're going to fly out through that hole. Their brains will get sucked out of that. Hope I put that in the right place. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Alrighty. Guess I'll really go see. Maybe there's a slope or something that fills in that spot. We don't know yet. I think it's part of the wings or something. Okay. Part of the wings. Start with these first. And yeah, this is a winner here. I haven't. This is a very enjoyable. I'm enjoying this build. This is not something that's crap or anything. It's good. Okay, so we got this one facing first. And it says put these at the bottom here. Huh? Oh. Okay. Take your lamp holders. Make sure these are facing. You want the studs facing outwards. I was looking at that thinking, what? How is that even possible? No, it's like this. I was looking at this right here, and I was like, well, how does that even work? Like, what do they do there? Is it just sitting in there? No. You know, they just, that's what they did. And looks like we sandwiched this. This is where things get a little slimy here. Oh, I see what they were doing. They were using those to flip the stud around. Well, Lego, it'd be nice if you made one of those type of studs. That would be a great snot piece. But no, you will not do that for some unknown reason. Alright. All these little 1x1s are hard to line up. There we go. There's a little hole there. This sits here. And oh, okay, they clamp onto these. They clamp onto these bricks with stick. So we'll just drop that right down, and I don't think it matters which way. Yeah, it does snap right in place too. Make sure. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is probably something you'd want to display. You wouldn't want to rip this whole thing apart. And I forgot to put that on there. Like I got one of these extra things. Did I forget to put something on again? We'll check it out here in a second. I got some extra plates here, and you know, so we'll see here. So there's your thing. Oh yeah, that's really finished off, and they really did a good job. I bet these are custom for this. It's like what you'd see for one of those Star Wars Starfighter things. Let's take a closer look here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that is really good. Now let's see here. We got a few extra parts here. Let's see if this goes anywhere. Maybe I was lucky and they sent me another one, but let's take a look here. And that's the whole point about this, is to see I got an extra tile there. Like I said, it could have gotten mixed up with something else. Let me take a look on the inside here. This is where we were mostly working at, is the top portion of the cockpit. But I have all the radars and stuff in there too. Fully playable. Man, that is just unbelievable. Okay, I see where this tile goes. It goes all the way back. Let me go all the way back here. Okay, I see. It's right here. And I see another mistake I made too. These are actually supposed to be pushed out by 2 plates. And I have mine only out at 1, so we're going to fix that right now. So what I'm going to do is pop this out and just yank the dash out of this real quick. I wish it was easy like that, and especially with the car, easy for me to pull my dash out, fix my AC controls, change the cabin filter. All right. And this thing here goes like this. It actually sits here. That was what I was missing. So I was pretty much at the very beginning in here. Let's go back to the dashboard and make sure we did it right. Okay. Yeah, I was not paying attention. I just saw the thing, you know, putting that together. At least we're not gluing this together. We would have really been in trouble. Now that thing doesn't fight me when I put it in like last time. So that's really in there good. And so we don't know where this one goes. And we're still missing that other piece. But these are the only 2 pieces that I pretty much have remaining at this point for this bag. Alright, now let's proceed on with bag 8. Close that. We don't want to see our mistakes that we've made. Alright, this one's a little different. We got mostly blue in here. I bet that's probably about as much blue as I've ever seen in one sitting, especially with my stuff here. Now I gotta find the page that we left off on. But so far, pretty good, just a bit challenging. So I think this is part of the wing assembly. I'm going to read ahead and I'm seeing if these are identical here. And they look like they are. And if they are, yes, so we got to build a mirror of these. I think that's the rear wing assembly. I don't know. We're going to slide that off of there, and then we're going to tackle. How do we go about doing this here? We're going to need these. And I need another one of those. Okay. Now it could have been possible too that Lego had packed in this plate instead of that 1x4. And when they send stuff like this, you really can't complain about it because it was free. Well, not free, I have to review it, but they send it to me to review. I really want to build this. But yeah, I'm missing pieces. I'm not going to be that. I'm not that type of a person. Yeah, I was taking a little break in between the last segment and this one here. I'm editing the unboxing. So the thing about this is that I can't focus on one job like that at a time, so I'm doing that. Okay. You know, I'm not sure if these existed back then. I think they may have. I think that's how they go in there. Okay. Alright, so... Uh-oh, yawn monster. Ugh. I think I get about halfway through these, and I'm going to stick it out to the end. So it's all little stuff right now. I got all these big, giant pieces, and yeah, I'm trying to get through these. I like these type of pieces. They work good for wrapping around wheel wells and stuff, so I need to get a few more of those in different colors. Matter of fact, building this kind of reminds me of that one level in Crash Bandicoot, Cortex Strikes Back. Or one of those space levels. Oh, maybe it's the blue that's making me yawn. And those are upwards. They show the upwards plate here, and then they show this here. You know, I had to really look at that really closely. So this goes here in the back, and then it goes there. I think that's gonna be smoothed in real quick. But as you can see, the mirroring is taking hold pretty quick. Let's start moving these really big pieces over here, because all I'm doing is tripping over them right now, like these. There's so many of them. So I think this bag is just the rear wing assembly. I gotta find two more of those angular brackets. I need this. I may need that brick separator. You know how I am. Sometimes I get a little carried away and have to rip stuff apart. Oh yes, I was watching a vintage tech guy on YouTube, and somebody that I've been watching for years. And no, his name doesn't start with W. But I was watching his channel, and I haven't watched it in a while. I was like, man, why did I stop watching this guy? And I got on there, it was all politics talk, and I thought, oh. It's like, oh no, that's why I stopped. And I thought, dude, you shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I know people do that on their own channels, but I really don't want to hear about somebody's political beliefs. I just want to watch their, listen to their knowledge on how to fix something or restore something, not what you believe in, because it kind of ruins the flavor of things. And to each his own, but I was kind of bored with it. I thought, well, I have other things to do, and I found other things to do. Alright, so this coming up is not too bad at all. This is not easy. Well, it's easy, but it's not something that you can get done real quick here. And it says we got to make 2 of these things, but I got to make 4 of them. You get too many pieces of the same color, my mind kind of just goes crazy. And The reason being is that it's just bland. Now, that's nothing wrong with the set. That's just how my brain works. So I have to step back a moment here and just kind of look at things. And I got to make 4 of these here. I thought I heard something fall. I hope it wasn't a part or something. So I'm going to have to pull this whole cabinet out of here to get to it. This is my review table. It's also like a light box. I got 2 walls here that are white, so it's a budget. It was built on a budget. Actually, it was built back when I had roommates. So it's worked ever since. Okay. Now, what they do is they stick this here on these. Now, this is going to be kind of weird because you have to kind of worm these in here. Set them in like this. Now, I hope that's not a bad sign there with, you know, we don't want to have to fly this out into space and for some unknown reason the atmosphere out there or lack of leaks in here and then we're toast. Okay. And we got 2 techniques. I got to remember this is the one on the left hand side is the one that I'm working on from the book. The right hand side is mine. And I saw that the only thing that was really subtle was the tools. So I think this one has the radio, so this one must have the wrench. And how I know that is there's 1 radio and 1 wrench. So we'll go figure there. Alrighty. Pretty cool. I always like transparent pieces. They're always cool. Oh, okay. So there's an insert that goes in here. They just take one of these inverted tiles and this shield just drops in here. Okay, so it's pretty seamless. That'd have been great for the drive-thru for McDonald's. Instead of making that brick built thing. Yeah, this set not only has a good building experience, it's also got some good building techniques in here too that you could use for other builds. You know, pretty cool. It's kind of sloppy right now because I hadn't finished it up. And I got butter container lids falling all over me. So, okay, this is the one with the wrench. So I'm going to go ahead and put the wrench in here now. And I believe that this one here has the radio. So we'll put the radio in here. Let me make sure here. Like I said, I'd rather check and make sure. That's what it is. Okay. Alright. And this is some of how I built the ice cream door. Oh, I forgot that there. Pair of 1x6s. So the plates on top here are going to lock that in, and then the hinge here. You want to make sure you have it to where it's like this. Just match the book. I can't emphasize that enough. Some people leave it like this, some people leave it like that. You can mess up, so I just do it like that because then I know I'm not going to mess up because it only goes one way. Just like this one here. And we have some more information here. On the original model, the arrow decoration was printed on a 1x2 brick. The arrow in this model is built using a shield from the Lego Nexo Knight set. Okay, cool. That's what they're, Nexo Knight shields. Learn something new here. See, I like the information in here in these books. I really do. It just, you know, it just makes it feel more, I wouldn't say story maybe, there's a word for it, but it's cool. Oh, is this supposed to be a a replacement for the loudspeaker. Remember that little piece that you'd get that has the little 3 megaphones like this? I think that's what they're trying to go for here. I have a few of those in my collection. Okay. I believe we have to build 2 of these. Matter of fact, I don't see parts to make another one, I don't think. Yeah, there is buckets. Never mind. Okay, we have to. I will check here to be sure. Sometimes these dark colors are hard to see the lines. All right, let me fast forward here to the other page and see. Is there another one of those megaphones that go on there? Okay. This one's actually got a stick though. Did I forget something? Okay. I guess they don't want to depend on this because it will fall off very easily, so what they did here is they stuck a stick in there and shove it in here. So not only that the stud is going to hold on to it, but you can't whack that off now. That's really sturdy. That's not sloppy or anything like that. So we're going to make another one there. And then while we're doing that, we'll slowly get rid of the pieces off the table. So this thing pretty much, except for the windscreens and the printed stuff, is pretty common stuff. Well, for me anyways. In fact, I still got that PVC pipe glue when I was putting in that electrical outlet all over my hands. You know, I'm not a person that likes to wear the gloves. Oh, you need to wear gloves. I'm like, why? Which way are the nubs facing? Yeah, so this is a winner. Uh-oh, am I missing one? I'm missing a bucket. Wow. Let me check the floor. Stand by. I'm back, and yeah, it fell on the floor. Really need to get a lip on there. I may make maybe get some magnets or something and attach them to the front. Some really strong magnets. Just make sure it locks in place, or something that I can do. Or just maybe take a router and router a line in here, so if the parts roll, it'll roll in the little crack instead of rolling all over the floor. Okay, and it goes in here. And then we'll set that there. Yep, I'm pleased. I am pleased with this. This is not, if you get this, you're not wasting your time putting this together. I swear. This is going to be something you can say, hey, I watched Jay build this, now I'm building it on my own, and it's fun. Good inspiration, all kinds of stuff in here. And we're still piecing together the blue. There's the arrows. Okay. We're not even close yet, because now we got to do a sub-step. Okay. Set these off to the side. Just remember orientation. And then I'm going to mirror these here real quick. And one of these here. Okay. Yeah, I think the review on this, how I'm going to do it, is do the 360 spin. I'm going to have the minifigures in here. It makes it a lot better. Before I would just do the minifigures separately. But I think this time when I do everything, I'm just going to put the minifigures inside. And then we're just going to do the 360 tour, or I call it the 360 spin. And then after the spin, then I'm going to take the hand cam and we're just going to go in and just look at everything really close. I don't really normally do that. It depends on the build. If it's something that's worth mentioning, well, like this one for example, yes, I will do that. All right. Yeah, so this is a set here you'd want to display. If you had a glass coffee table where you can set stuff inside, this would be perfect. Really good display piece. Okay, then we put the radiator grill. At least I didn't miss this one here. Put the radiator grill right here. Okay. And then this one looks like it just sits in here. So that means this one must go this way. The only way it can go. There we go. Yeah, pretty sturdy. Well, this right here is kind of mushy. It's locked in, but you know, you may want to kind of level that up a bit there. I wish it was cold and raining right now. This would be perfect. Now, we got to put 5 of these on here. You just got to put them on there. So that's how you do it. If you need these tail wings, it's got a bunch of them. If you want to buy this set for parts, just for the pieces alone, it's about 8 to 10 cents a piece. You know, not too bad for what you are getting. So I would say that this is good for just parts. They're clicking because I'm doing this. Alright. And that hangs over by 1. And what goes here? Okay. Maybe this fits inside of there. You know, these are really cool. If you want to make a very shallow roof, that's what you use these for. And it doesn't show exactly where this goes, but I'm assuming it goes in this slot right here. And how I know that is that it's flush right here. So I wanted to really make sure before I commit to that. And then I just push that down in there. There we go. Looks pretty good. Now imagine me doing my tutorials like this. It'd be a long tutorial. Matter of fact, when I do the initial build of the tutorials, they're this long. You know, that's why I don't film tutorials like that. It'd be raw and cut, and people would lose interest on them real quick. And then after that, we will take this one. We will place it on that side there. Well, it goes on this side right here. Now I got to be careful. I'm sitting on a lip here. Let me move that over. And what I'm going to do is fold both these hinges, make sure they're inside, and make sure they're all like this. I'm just going to drop that down in there. So it does this. I've got a little bit of a bind back there. Where is it hitting exactly? Oh, it's hitting this corner here. Well, we have to build the rest of it. Uh-oh, I hope these are not going to be draft points. We don't want our brains to get sucked out there. And I'm assuming that this one goes over here, but before we do, I'm going to skim through it, make sure everything is correct. And yeah, so far so good. Okay, just wanted to make sure, because I don't want to have to do this twice. I've already messed up enough. And see, I keep whacking this front thing of the ship, and it has not fallen off yet, so we're good. That goes like that. Oh, that just feels kind of sloppy there. Did I push that in all the way, or is that just how it is? Something's falling off. Oh, there it goes. It just came apart. This is, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's always one part of the ship that's always going to break. Well, I don't know how that went back on there now. Let me look at that. It's almost like I'm missing something there. I'll have to look at that here in a second. Let me see here. Maybe this tile goes on the front like this. May have to look at the book for reference. Yeah, that's the only critical part of the ship is this. I've whacked it so many times and something in here is not... There's a hook there, but there's both of these. You think that there would have been a way to lock that in there. There's a gap there. I wonder if we're going to fill that in. Well, of course, we're not done with it yet, so that could be that. You see, it just doesn't look even here. It just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of just feels sloppy at this point. Let me look again at the back. Yeah, see, this whole thing here is starting to get deformed. So now it's getting to be a little big to handle. Yeah, it's... Maybe I didn't press that down all the way. But... Yeah, I mean... I wish that kind of locked together. Hopefully there's a locking mechanism for this. Okay, so now we got to build 2 of these. And that's where it fills in the holes here. I think we forgot some 1x2 plates in there. It shows that they're in there. I could have just misplaced, missed those too. Set those in there and then we'll put these in like so. I got one more bag after this. I kind of wish I would do these live, but I think a lot of people would get bored. I get the request still to do them live, and I'm like, are you sure you can handle a live stream like that? Alright. Maybe this is what this thing locks into. I bet that's what this is. I bet that's what it is. Here I'm complaining like this is sloppy, not gonna close, and then I'm looking at this now thinking, oh, maybe it's going into this. Because we got a hole here and we got these 2 little sticks inside. Maybe it's going to latch onto that. And there's 2 half-round tiles here. And that plate has been bumped around so many times, and we still haven't found a home for that one yet. Let's straighten those out. And let's see here. This fits in here. See, I keep whacking this front piece. Now it tells me to open these up and set this in here. Okay. Let me make sure here real quick here. Oh, wait a minute. It sits on top. Well, that don't make sense. Hold on. I think I made... Oh, yeah, I think I made a mistake. Okay, it's not like this. I got to put it this way. I was like, how's it going to work? No, it's got to be flipped around. There we go. Okay. This has got a hole here, but... Okay, there is a hole in there. Alright. I think these slot lock in place. Let's see. Yep, that's what that does. So basically this right here goes into here. So now it looks good. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. And this is all that remains for bag 8. Finally, bag 9. Okay, so I believe that this one here is the engine. So let's take a look. And that's pretty much what it is. So we got to build 2 of these. At least it tells us in advance. I'm going to just check ahead real quick. Alright. So it looks like we are focusing on the rear of the ship. So I'm just going to prepare this now and set it here. Careful with the wacky thing that likes to break apart, and we'll worry about that over there. And this one here, we started with Technic and we're ending with Technic. So the stuff in the middle is pretty exciting. So yeah, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. And I just finish editing or finish proofing the part explorations, the unboxing. 1-to-1, making sure. I don't know if that's supposed to fit in like that. We don't know. Yeah, honestly, right now I miss my bed. I think I may do a treat on this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm thinking of maybe doing the alternative build as well and compare them. So we'll see what we can do here. Okay, yes, these are a little like those barrels, but these are plain boring gray, so yeah. They utilize a lot of the Technic stuff in here. And then there's a red one that goes inside. And we want to be careful. They show that these Technic pins line up, so I want to make sure this is lined up as well. So, like these are facing here, so I know it's horizontal, so I'm going to line these holes up horizontal as well. You know, I don't want to have to take that apart. It's asking me to put some pins in here, some friction pins. So it looks like the last bag is just the engine. The engines and finishing stuff up, the rocket thrusters, whatever you want to call it. So whatever you want to call it, you can call it whatever you want. And then the sink drain goes in here. So it goes like that. It only fits in one way. There we go. And one of these in the middle. A friction stud. Friction pin stud. And we got to get a pair of these. The only thing this thing is missing is power functions, like adding lights and stuff in there. Pretty cool. Okay, the spacemen have been spared because the holes in the back here are going to be where the engines go. See, I keep whacking this thing in the back. Just trying to position it to where we both can see it. So, it goes right back here. I'm just going to move one of these out of the way and show you. I don't think it matters which way it goes. It just shows that these go in these Technic holes in here, and you just snap them in. So it's sealed. Nobody's going to walk by there and they're just going to get their innards ripped out by the space vacuum. And then that's what it looks like right there. See, this right here is what's kind of the critical area. Alright. Then we got to build two more, I think, go on here. So, you can tell I'm getting tired. Just glad this week is over. Yeah, I can do the fun stuff. I want to do this. I want to work on the campground. I just want to chill out. Not hear the ringy of the phone. Not hear the door knocking or the doorbell chiming. Nobody wants to hear that unless it's somebody that I really want to see. In fact, I'm craving for a barbecue right now. Okay, a sub-step. But yeah, overall, I'd say this set's not pretty bad. It's pretty interesting. It's got a little bit of tidbits for you. It's honestly, you know, the color. Does the color really depend on how the build quality is going to be? No. I mean, look at my big giant jack-o'-lantern. It's big and giant, but you can build it. And yeah, we got 2 or 3 colors in it. I may build that for Halloween just for fun. Decorate the house up a bit. Okay, then they're asking for the 2 antennas. Oh, yeah, it matters which way these go. You show that the lever's like this. Yeah, where's this rain we're supposed to have? Huh? Actually, they say it's 40% where I'm at, up to maybe an inch or so. They've been saying with the global warming, you know, the rain may be, sparse, but when it rains, it's going to rain, and then they're like, oh, it's really going to come down. So maybe it's not a bad time to invest in a vessel, a boat. It's like I said in a previous installment, though, where I'm at, I'm kind of like in the bottom of a lake bed. And if they say if a big old flood happens, my house would be 100 feet underwater. 50 to 100 feet. So that wouldn't be too cool. Although that means I would have premium lake property. Just matter of fact, I should cement a big giant pillar at the bottom, like in my backyard, and then just tie a big chain to it. And then if something happens, I can just build a little houseboat and just chain it back up out here and go on with my life. At least Lego will float, right? Keep it in all the sealed bins. Just get some scuba gear, swim down and go get my Lego. And I'm back in business. Or better yet, let's just hope it doesn't happen. Alrighty. Checker pieces. Okay. Okay, so what they did here, we got two of these, we got to make two. They're telling me to fish this in here and then shove the gears through this way. Well, we're not going to shove the gears. I'm just going to shove the gear at the top first, because you put this on first here, then you have to shove that gear all the way up through that way. And I'm thinking, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, you can do it any way you want, it's your set, but for me, I'm just going to do it this way. You get too many parts, you're literally going to have to fight them. And for me, it's just easier doing it like this and then push it up. And it goes inside the checker piece. And of course my shirt has to get caught in there. So far this has got a lot of detail, just for the engines. Okay, and then is a cog, or a pulley thing, and a parabolic ring. I don't know which way these were supposed to go in. Hold it like this, and I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to keep it as uniform as possible. Do it like that where these are running up and down. I'll go OCD if I'll go OCD if I don't. And then these. There we go. And then you have to put two more of these on here. So these, they're just reversing the studs with these is all it is. These would make great jet engines too if you want to build a full-size aircraft. Well, a full minifigure size, that is. Step 231. Oh, the book is getting pretty light at the end. It means we're getting close. Getting close. And don't worry, we'll do a quick review at the end here. It'd be really rough. I'm not going to go in and drag out the big camera or whatever. We're just going to do it half-baked and call it a night. And I noticed I'm missing a friction pin, but that's why I have a bin of random parts. So I think what happened is that they shortchanged me one of those and put this in there instead. You know, I mean, when I was told that they packaged this stuff by weight, so maybe those two pieces are pretty equivalent. They're probably pretty close, the same weight. I mean, if you really were to cut this in half, here's, you know, they put that 1x4 brick in there with the studs. They replaced it with this. I can come in and cut two 1x4s and two 1x2s, stack them on top, and it's a 1x4 brick. And with the extra plastic in the middle, yeah, I could see where it probably got confused. I mean, those type of things happen. Now, I've always had a few fans say, well, how do you get all these mistakes? Well, you got to understand, I buy a lot of sets. I obtain a lot of Lego sets, so the mistakes for me are going to be higher. You know. But I mean, if you're buying the set and you're missing that part, you can contact Lego customer service and they'll send you one out. I've had to do it maybe a handful of times. Nothing too major. Okay, so these go in here like that. Okay, now these sit on, there we go again, whacking that thing in the front. Okay, which way do the antennas face on here? I know they face like this, but does it matter? Yeah, it does. So I'm assuming the antennas just stick straight out, and these just snap in here. Yeah. Well, I didn't make a mistake, because if I did, that would not have fit in so easily. Making sure I put those in the right way. And they're just snapped in there with those modified plates. And that's it. It looks like we're done with this. And we still got some parts left. So it looks like we're building ourselves some kind of terrain thing. I don't think that goes anywhere. Yeah, for somebody who's not into space, though, honestly, I am satisfied with this set. I am not kidding you. This is pretty good. And just overall, it's a nice build. It's not lame or anything like that. Basically, it's like the original, just more detail. Galaxy Explorer on steroids. Another one of these dinky little wheels. That's what you get. You know, you're getting the whole dime tour. Matter of fact, I should say this is the dollar tour, because it's got more features to see. And you gotta put the rims in here, and you get red ones too. Because back in the 80s, well, when I was a kid, 70s, 80s, we had red. I guess it was meant for like race cars and stuff. Like, I don't think I see anything else for this. Any more of the tidbits. Okay. Let me snap these on there. And it's scaled for figures as well. And it shows that this goes inside. And this is what we have remaining. So what I'm taking it is that this plate was mistakenly put in there for the other one. So, go figure there. You got a brick separator. That was it. So that's it of the build. Now, we got our figures. Let's set our figures in here. Now, let's take a look at this real quick. Obviously, if you want, you can have him drive that. So see, he could fit in there. Now, this fits in the back, and this is the last step right here. And we can just open this up here. This is supposed to come down. In fact, let's bring the landing gear up. And this is, ooh, and this is not lightweight either, so I'm just going to bring these down. And wacky. See, this whole thing is starting to come apart now. You got to be careful where you're holding on to this at. See, I'm starting to break things on it now. So these open up. Okay, and this is supposed to drop down. I believe this comes out. So that's exactly what it does. That's what that plate was for, to prevent this from coming down. So what you do is you can drive this thing up into here, and then do that. Basically what it does, and it shows you, you could set it inside the back. You pull this out, and it rolls out. So that's pretty cool. So you don't know what that is until you're there. I think this thing at the bottom here is meant for holding accessories and stuff, or it's just meant to keep that tile in there. And it closes up. Now let's put our figures in here. Let's drop the landing gear. I don't want to I want to fix this one area here where I kind of picked it up here. So those fall back in. So is this a playable model? you know, yes, it's playable, but it's on the larger side. I mean, yeah, you could play with this if you really wanted to, but it would be kind of impractical to do so. Where does the robot go? You know what? We could put the robot somewhere. I think it goes in that bottom hatch. So what you can do is we can have a couple of our spacemen in here. We'll put one of the red ones in the front. They just sit on top of those jumper plates too, like that. And I noticed the steering wheels are not quite lined up with the figures. Kind of a bummer. I could have designed that a bit better, but I think they were just trying to keep it as original as possible here. Well, yeah, let's do that. Okay. And then we can have these two guys back here. This is playable. I mean, you can play with this. Let's have one here standing here and working on the equipment. Okay. Stand him right there. And we'll have this one here take a nap. He's been tired. He's been floating around too much. He's got to sleep, so we'll set him in there. But you know, as you can see, there's plenty of room. You could. This is fully playable. This is not, you know. You can close that up. Okay. And this thing here, what do you do with this? And I believe that you can just shove this somewhere in here. Now, there's not enough room, so where do you put this little robot thing at here? Well, let's open this back up. Hate to think it's one of those accessories that you don't know where to put. Maybe just set them inside there. And there you go. I mean, it's done. Now, for build quality, you know, it's pretty sturdy. You know, this stuff's pretty locked in. When you're building it, it seems a bit questionable. This front area here is pretty fragile, and these right here look like these just pop out pretty easily. So other than that, though, it's pretty sturdy. Just be careful you pick it up. You don't want to pick it up here, because I'm sure that this will just yank right off, and this thing will come crashing on the floor. That's not. It looks cool, and it's probably about 18 to 20 inches from here to here. I don't know if the box tells you, but accessory-wise, you know, could you drop this in a city, or could it be used for a mock? You could. Now, the only thing this set does not have that the original had was a base plate that went down on the bottom. It was like a circular plate where the spaceship would land. The only thing that this thing does not have. Could you put this in a city? Well, it's pretty large. If you're really into a city, maybe if you have, like if you have a space program or something, but not really. You know, keeping my interest. Obviously, if you watch the whole series, it kept my interest. I'm done, but now I get to have the fun and play with this. So this is a model that only can be displayed, but it is fun to build as well. So overall, yeah, this looks pretty good. And I think what I'm going to do is build another model of this. I think there's another one that comes out. I think you have to scan to get the booklet available in English. Let's see if they have anything else in here. For the alternative, a friend of mine said that you can build an alternative build out of this. I'll have to look it up, and really have to look it up. As far as for my manuals, though, I keep these. It's bound and stuff. I keep even the paperback ones. Reason being is it's got good building inspiration, and it's got the list of parts in the back. So if I need a piece from this, I can just come in here and order some of these out of this manual and just build my own creations and stuff. So I always say keep the manuals. But I am going to honestly say, though, this is a set if you're heavy into heavily into space, I'd get this. It's only $100 for 1,200 something pieces, 4 minifigures, fully playable model, detailed model, and it's finished. this is a finished model. This is not like a half-baked one. This is finished, so you are getting the bang for your buck. Yeah, so thank you all for sticking around through this installment build of the Galaxy Explorer by LEGO, set number 10497.